Hello Gemini, and welcome to your Triple Cross reading for the month of November 2018. You can use this for your sun, moon, and rising signs. And some months you might identify more with your rising or moon sign instead of your sun sign. So if you know your astrological chart, please do check those videos out for more clarity at this time. Also keep in mind that these are general readings, so naturally there'll be some messages that resonate more than others, and that's normal because I'm reading for a lot of Geminis out there in the YouTube community. Before we begin, I would like to just announce that I am doing a very special sale only for the month of November. All of my private readings, all of my offerings are 15% off. And I'm really excited to be doing this. It's my way to be giving back to my subscribers and all my loyal followers out there in social media, especially here on the YouTube community, for all of your support. It is my way of giving back. So if you are at all interested in having a private reading with me, if you'd like me to look at something specific, tailor-made for you, any situation that you need clarity or guidance with, you can do so by booking a private reading at tripletarot.com. All right, with all that said, let's begin our reading. I say ours because I am a Gemini sun, so this reading will apply to me, and I'm always very excited to know what is in store for our sign. All right, so down the center, I have the Eight of Swords, the Ace of Wands, and the Emperor card. Crossing or supporting that, we have the Nine of Cups, and it's a crossing card. I'll explain why in a moment. So we can see these cards in two ways. Firstly, you could be dealing with an Aries, Sun, Moon, or Rising, and if it's not that sign, rather, it is someone that just exerts a lot of control or hierarchy or rank over you. Someone that could be quite controlling or could just be an elder to you in some sort of way. Whoever this person is, they just make you feel like your ideas, your plans with the Ace of Wands here are not welcomed. They are not listening to these suggestions, ideas, comments, or new beginnings that you want to see in your life, in your career in some way. They just don't deem them to be enough, and they are not very welcoming or receptive to you. And this could be a person that is robbing you of your happiness, and that's the crossing card here. So it's letting you know that in some way you have to make sure that you don't feel tied down, bogged down by this person. So do your best to protect your energy, do your best to be fair in this situation. I know sometimes it's very difficult to be fair, to be gentle when other people are being difficult and are testing our patience and our ability to keep a very level-headed, cool, kind way of being, but it's best that you act this way so that they don't rob you of your inner peace and of your happiness or more abundance, because that's the Nine of Cups energy of feeling like we've got everything that we need, or almost everything, because it's not quite a 10, but yes, feeling really happy with who we are, what we have, and what we've got going on in our lives. So pay this person no mind as much as you possibly can. And another way that we can see this, of course, is that this period now in November will mark or already has marked a new stage in our lives, especially when it comes to fears with the 8, a sense of a limitation when it comes to not being able to feel more in control of our lives, and of putting in more of our own passion into the things that we do in the realm of ideas, in our work, and our overall vitality. These two cards talk about our vitality, but mostly of us being like center stage of us feeling like we've got this, of us feeling like we have more control so that we can attract greater happiness, greater abundance, and greater harmony into our lives. Now, in our root area, I have the Magician, the Strength card, and the Seven of Swords. We have two majors here. I do see two majors coupled in quite a few trios here, but this message will definitely have a lot of weight. It is our root area after all, and it's letting you know, these three, that don't let anybody mess with what the actual truth is in a situation, what the actual reality of a situation is, because they're gonna try to meddle with it, meddle with the truth, mess with your reality in some sort of way, or someone that, in its most negative, the Magician, the manifester, the one that has everything at his disposal with the Seven. And the Strength card could be a person that is trying to manipulate you with their words, or it could be also their actions, but I really see mostly their words, because we are dealing with swords, and swords talk about our verbal communication, also written, but communication in general. They could also be manipulating your intentions, or twisting your words in some sort of way. So it's best that this month that you try to be as clear, as transparent, and as succinct as possible. I know we're kind of chatterboxes, Geminis we are, but it's going to be to our advantage to just be more clear, more concise, more direct, more to the point. Always try to do it with kindness, with patience, but I do see here, this is in addition to that, I do see that we could get away with something this month, and I mean no judgment here. Sometimes it's good to get away with certain things, but just make sure that whatever it is that you're getting away with isn't something that could affect other people karmically or yourself karmically. So try to be as honest as you can be, as transparent as you can be, and as clear with your intentions and your actions as you can be, because otherwise this could affect our karma in a negative way, and our ability to manifest going on, like later on in life. So let's avoid that by trying to just be people of integrity as much as possible. Now, in our recent past, I have the Page of Cups, the 5 and 10 of Swords. So for my Gemini people who have had a breakup with a water sign like a Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising, if it's not those signs, it's just someone whose energy is manifesting as either highly intuitive or highly manipulative. We've already talked about some manipulation here in your root area, or they could just simply be emotionally unstable, emotionally draining in some sort of way. And this untimely end between you and them is definite. That's what the 10 here, this 10 of Swords for me is very, very definite, very final. The 10 and the Death card for me denote things that are very, very final, ends that are pretty much absolute. And I'm eyeing the Death card here. So for some of you, you could have broken up with someone. It doesn't necessarily have to just be romantic. It could just be broken up with a friend. You know, sometimes we have to cut certain people out of our lives. Sometimes relationships do come to an end. So it could be talking about a friend as well. But just know that the reason for this ending with this 10, because 10s talk about culminations in the tarot, if you are honest with yourself, this relationship wasn't balanced and it wasn't mature, because this person has manifested themselves as a page, not a knight, not a queen, not a king. So there's an aspect of them either being too young, so like there could have been a big age gap between you, or they could have just been too emotionally immature. And we do see numerologically the fives represent instability in general, and we do see instability here with this person, and we do see a sense of feeling really let down, badly let down, of feeling like someone stabbed us in the back in its most negative form. And it's best to just let these people or person go, because the more you overthink on what could have, should have been with this person, the more difficult it will be to attract a person that is on your level energetically. So just know that this person's role in your life has come to an end. Thank them for the lessons. You don't have to actually verbalize it to them, but just energetically, the more you can release and let go, because if you harbor feelings of fear, of guilt, of sorrow, of pain, of holding a grudge, you're only harming yourself. So I know that when relationships end, it's tricky, but you're being called to truly let go of this chapter so the new can begin. And we were talking about newness. We have an ace, and we do have the death card here, things that are ending, with the 10 here. And I just do see a lot of new things coming for us, and the things that are coming for us are looking a lot better. Why? I will get there in a second, because here crowning our reading we have the Hermit, the Moon card, and the 10 of Pentacles. And this is talking about the great majority of us Gemini people. We might, even though we are known as a sign that's quite friendly, or can make friends easily, or likes to go out and socialize. And of course, that's just the general energy of Gemini. We'd have to look at your personal chart to see what is affecting your Gemini-ness, if you will. But throughout this month, and specifically at the beginning of the month, we will feel a little bit better the more time we spend on our own. So if that is applicable to you, go for it, because you're gonna feel more stability when you spend more time with yourself or the people that you love, like family. This card specifically, to me, denotes family. And I do see that the focus of the cards here are really placing a great emphasis on self, on ourselves, on our stability, financial stability and emotional stability, like gaining wisdom of why things have happened, of our emotions, of why it is that we feel what we feel. That's these two cards coupled together. Now, there is an astrological component that the cards wish to talk about, and it's a good thing that they're reminding me, because there is going to be a very important lunation happening in our sign. November 23rd, we have a full moon in Gemini, so we will all be directly affected, sun, moon, and rising specifically. But I do see all of us being affected, especially when it comes to our relationships. And it will illuminate all of the friendships, the relationships, the familial bonds that you have that are of great value, of great stability to us. The full moon is trying to guide us towards these wonderful relationships and wonderful stability, that we can manifest greater abundance, greater people, like I was saying before, leading from the recent past up to now, the crowning position, and that we can call upon these people, especially if we have been dealing with a loss. But the full moon will illuminate this beautiful, the beautiful relationships that we do have in our midst, and to release, because it is a full moon. Full moons do talk about completions, and we do have a completion card with a 10. So it's like releasing the things that didn't work out, gaining the wisdom, and being illuminated and guided toward people that are actually worth it, people that are valuable, people that are that are really an asset for us, for our lives. Now, in our future position, I have the Death card, the Devil, and the Ace of Swords. So, speaking of letting go of emotional or spiritual connections this month, I do see that still being a theme halfway through the month, because we do see it here. There's a lot of synergy with the cards, and these are inviting you to cut with the Ace any negative connection that you have had. And this could very well be a Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, or a Capricorn sun, moon, or rising. And if it's not those signs, it's just people whose I guess reason for having appeared in your life, it has already like come to an end. It has already reached its apex, its most. It has given you all that you need, the lessons, the maturity, the information that you need in order to move on and to level up. So I do see here that the cards are inviting for you to cut these people out and to speak with clarity, with certainty, to grasp the nettle, which is what we talked about here in the root area, if you recall, because you are over it. You're tired of feeling like you're manipulated, or that you're only attracting people that are negative to you in some sort of way, of obsession, of vices, because people sometimes could be our vice. They could be our obsession. It doesn't necessarily have to be a bad habit, but for some of you it definitely could be. But you don't want to be manipulated anymore. You're tired of that. And these cards are asking for change. And change, what I'm seeing here, it starts with ourselves, because the swords suit is a representation of our sign. So we are being called to be the leader, to be the one that says no more. I am tired of dealing with these people, or I will no longer feed into the energy of fear, of negativity, or of overthinking on the could've, would've, should'ves. And you will recognize that the reason for them having come into your lives has already reached, like I said, its maximum apex, and it is best for you to release and to let go. Now, in our ego position, I have the 10 of Wands, the 6 and 2 of Pentacles. And what I have here is, once again, we're talking about culminations, because we do have a 10, with your relationships, because numerologically the 2 represents relationships of all kinds, romantic, platonic, so this could be a friend or a colleague at work, or it could also represent familial bonds. It's just representative of people that you value, because we're dealing with pentacles. And the endings will come because there is no balance between you guys, or there is not a sense of appreciating each other in the same sort of way. Now, for my other Geminis out there, I do see that we have put in a lot of work, a lot of our energy into trying to find a balance, more harmony, and trying to accrue more abundance, more financial stability in our lives. And this is wonderful, but don't forget to have fun. That is the key here, because things could be a lot easier than you think if you only focus your energies on not just the negative, on not just the difficulty, but also in a sense here of fun, of play. So as best as you can, even if we have a 9-to-5 job, because hey, I do as well. I totally understand this. This is applicable for me, this side of it, is that we have to remind ourselves that we can have fun in any business enterprise that we do, in all that we do, especially those of us that are trying to fulfill our dreams and do what we love. Let's focus on the love portion and not so much on, oh my God, I have to do all of these things. I'm feeling taxed out, maxed out because I am work, and no play. So let's try to find that harmony, that balance, because the abundance can be called to us a lot easier when we're having fun. That's what the cards say. Now, in our environment, I have the Sun card, the 5 of Cups, and the 3 of Wands. So I see here that it is a human thing to feel, of course, sadness when things have not worked out in the timing that we hoped for, or the way that we hoped for, or you know, sometimes certain people need to leave out of our lives. So that could definitely apply to some of you because we kept seeing it over and over again. But whatever it is, that this sense of sadness, this sense of melancholy of what could have, should have been, try your best to keep your thoughts positive, because we do see the Sun card here trying to illuminate a new road, a new horizon, a new way of being, of thinking. It's trying to it's trying to invite you to be more positive and to welcome in the light in your life. And it's just a matter of perspective for our sign. So we're being called to open up our eyes into the beauty, into the newness, and the new doors that could be opening, the new opportunities. Because every time we see the Death card, I know it could be seen as a negative, scary card, but I don't fear it, because it always brings that promise that whatever will be removed from our lives will be replaced by something better for us. Now, in our hopes and fears area, we see the 10 of Cups, the Temperance card, and the 2 of Wands. These are hopes. They're beautiful hopes, and hopes of us being able, those of us that have let go of certain people in our lives. If that applies to you, then I do see you working on healing with the Temperance card, and being patient with yourself and the situation at hand. And for others of us, it's more about being patient when it comes to plans, ideas, or things that we seek to manifest in our lives, because everything will happen in its due time, in its due moment. And just know that we do have a lot of emotional support here, either from a family member or a long-time friend or long-time partner. So there's support for us if we need it. Now, in our outcome position for the month of November, I have the Justice card, I have the Page of Swords, and I have the Star card. I'm grinning from ear to ear. I know you guys can't see me, but I see here the page, and I'm like, yes, okay, because every tarot reader has their own language, their own connection to the cards. But for me personally, whenever I have a client or a sign who appears in their reading, to me it denotes more control, a sense of being able to deal with the energies, the manifestation in an easier way. So here we are. We have appeared in our reading. Yes, at the very end, but we appeared. So that's what's crucial here. And so that's a very positive thing, because we're going to end the month feeling completely different to how we started it, especially if you were one of the Geminis who felt stuck, not as much in control. Well, guess what? There's more control to be had, especially week 4 for our sign. We're going to be feeling a bit more ourselves, more in control, like I said, and we're going to feel a sense of ease when it comes to our verbal ability and dealing with other people, but also our emotional selves. So if you were feeling a little pain, a little sadness for things that have ended, like we talked about in your root area and your future position, I do see you guys bouncing back. So that's a good thing to note, that whatever it is that you're feeling, it's transitory and you won't feel like that forever. So just keep on pushing, Gemini. And just know that feeling this new sense of balance with the Justice and the Star card is going to truly help us feel like we have what we were lacking. And just know that week 4, if you have to have a difficult conversation with someone, you have to write a difficult email, it's the best time to do so, because our communication will be heightened. We'll be able to be impartial, to get the bird's eye view, and to communicate with gentleness and ease at that. So week 4, if you want to have a difficult conversation, it's the best time to do so. And if you want to make amends for something that perhaps you weren't as honest about, you definitely can. Week 4, once again, it's the best time for that. And if you did have a breakup, like I said, with someone in the past, just know that keep going, keep pushing, because you will feel a lot better by the end of the month, and you will feel like actually that end was for the best, and you will feel a renewed sense of hope, of optimism, and realizing that the karma between you guys has finally ended and you can finally feel more yourself. All right, Gemini, that's the end of your reading. I hope that it has been of help to you. If you feel like it has, you can support my channel by giving me a thumbs up, by sharing this video with someone else that might need to hear these messages, or by subscribing to my channel. You can also donate if you feel called to do so. Any denomination is welcome. I placed a link in the description box below. And I'm also inviting you to follow me on social media. I am on Facebook and Twitter, and now I am on Instagram, and I am doing free oracle card readings for the mid-month of every month. I did October last month, and I'm going to be doing November really soon. It's a free service, so if you'd like to get in one of these free readings, I hope to see you over there. Now, if you'd like a private reading with me, once again, the website is tripletarot.com. November truly is the best month to do so, because it will only last, the sale is 15% off throughout this month only. Otherwise, I am wishing you lots of love, light, and blessings. I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.